Hey guys, so I'm Stevie, and I am an ex-cutter, and I've been clean for so long I don't even remember. um, so, yeah, this is just kind of like everything, I guess, that I went through with all that bullshit. Yeah. So, let me see, I started when I first moved here, or a little bit before then. So I was like, I think, 10 or 11. Um, a lamp broke in my house due to shitty circumstances, and I picked up the glass from a light bulb and I hurt the shit out of myself. And I remember it wasn't even that deep. It was like about as deep as you could go with like a safety pin. It wasn't even that deep. Um, but yeah, that's just what happened, man. That's how it started. Um, at the time, I had also been spiraling out of control with a bunch of other addictions that I had. I was bulimic at that time, so like it had just kind of been a thing that was in my head, and I already knew about it because when you're bulimic, you hear about a bunch of shit. So yeah, I didn't want to be anorexic because I was like too young to be anorexic, I guess. Like, you gotta eat, you gotta grow, but I didn't want to grow fatter, so I was bulimic as shit. Um, so yeah, that's what happened. I remember one time I was in an acting school when I was a kid, and this one time, I accidentally rolled up my sleeves because we were running around, and this kid walked up to me, and he was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "No, you're not," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he dragged me to the corner, and he flipped my wrist like this, and he was like, "No, you're not," and I started crying, and I just couldn't say anything, he gave me a big hug. He was like, "You don't have to tell me anything, just know that I know now, and just know that if you want to talk about it now that I know, and you don't have to, like, make an awkward confession or anything." And that was really sweet. I like that a lot. But, yeah, let me see. Yeah, I don't know, I've been through a lot of shit with cutting, I guess. The first time my parents found out, I guess I just put my arm on the door like this, and my dad saw. And I remember, like, he took my arm really tightly, and he dragged it into my mom's room, and he was like, "What the fuck is your daughter doing?" And, like, they were just so hostile and yelly, and it just wasn't nice at all. So yeah, I remember that shit. Shit wasn't nice. It happened 3 other times. The third time, my mom took me, and amidst all the yelling, and she was crying, and she told me she was gonna like have a heart attack and a bunch of shit. She drove me from our house to the nearest hospital, and she asked where the psych ward was, and she took me there, and they said, "Are you sure?" And my mom was like, "Actually, no." So then we left. She was on the phone with a lawyer for like half an hour, and the lawyer was like, reviewing everything, and he was like, "Sorry, I've never dealt with a case like this. I've never had a client that was like that." And then she was like, "Oh, it's okay." And so he reviewed over the HIPAA laws and stuff like that, and he was all like, "You shouldn't send her there. It'll restrict a lot of her rights. The more you send her there, the less rights she'll have." So yeah, that's kind of why I didn't go. Trust me, if my mom didn't have a good lawyer and she didn't work in healthcare, she would have sent me there in a heartbeat. But she didn't. Let me see. My boyfriend right now, a long time ago, when, it was, I think, somewhere around my birthday. No, it was around my ex-boyfriend's birthday. Right. My boyfriend right now, I was hanging out with him, and I left my wallet there. And this is when I was still, like, super emo. So, like, I had, a gray wallet with, like, Velcro. And on the inside, like, I had a safety pin. And I had, like, 50 different types of razor blades inside. And, like, since every single one of them has a hole in it, because, like, a razor blade is worthless without a hole, I just strung them all through a safety pin. And then I safety pinned the inside of my wallet so that I could have it all the time. So I could cut whatever the fuck I felt like. So yeah, I remember one time my boyfriend got so sick and tired of me, like, hurting myself, so he did it himself, And then, like, he told me he just passed out, like, he couldn't take it. And I was like, that's so cute. It was so funny. We're dating again now, so that's why it's cute. But yeah. Sorry, Mario. Let me see. What else happened? I don't know, like, when you're a kid and you cut, like, everyone else shows so much sympathy toward you, and, like, I think if it's one thing that I have to say to the kids that are still cutting, or that, like, are 11 right now and watching my video maybe, you know, first of all, shit's not fun. You're constantly worried, and it just kind of propels your depression a little bit more. It doesn't really make anything better. I know you might be thinking it is, but it's really not. But let me see. If you come across a kid that is cutting, the one thing you can do is not give them sympathy. Because I'll tell you what, when I was that kid, the only thing that kept me going with that shit was when some adult would turn over my wrists and, like, they'd be all like, oh my god, are you okay? Like, no, you're too pretty to be doing this to yourself, you know, you're too thin, you know, don't worry about it, you're fine, like, you have such a good life, look at all this shit you have, and then, like, they'd be really nice to me. The only thing that truly stopped me was the people that were like, this is fucking stupid. What the fuck are you doing with your life? You're not gonna fucking... This isn't fixing shit. Those are the people that really helped me get out of that shit. Although I appreciate the kind words of the other people. The thing is, though, the thing that was propelling all of this shit was people's sympathy. And the idea that if I kept doing it, that people would keep complimenting me, which would then boost my self-esteem even more. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah. These are all my scars. I kinda dark, I guess. This one was because some boy I liked. Stupid as shit. These 4 were because of the same boy I liked. I don't know, they're all really, like, they're faded as shit now, but they were pretty puffy, like, a year ago when they happened. The ones on my legs are, like, a lot worse. They're a lot more, well, they're not, like, fresh, they just look more fresh. Let me see. Ugh. Okay. So, the ones on my legs are, like, all over. Yeah. So, that's all of them, I guess. And this is, like, the fattest one that I have. It's because I got a D. So, yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching my YouTube video. And, yeah, just remember to love yourself and make sure that no one... Also, don't be put on meds, please. Those suck. They don't do anything. They just make you really dependent. Therapy and talking about it is the best thing to do. It's funny because all-time low, but yeah, the best thing to do is talk about it. Because therapists actually know what the fuck they're talking about. I know it sounds really dumb, but just make sure you find one that, like, matches your personality. And, like, you know, mine at the time was, like, he had, like, shit ton of tattoos. Like, he was tatted as fuck. He had, like, neck tattoos, and, like, he had fucking giant-ass gauges and tunnels and plugs, and he had everything. This dude was fucking awesome. He had a septum piercing. His name was Adam. He's awesome. And he really helped me bring me out of my bullshit. So, thanks, Adam. And thanks, Simona, and Mario, I guess, and Tyrus, because Tyrus is really sweet to me. Ivan, too, and Lena, and honestly, just, like, everyone from that time, and Bonnie, and that's about it. Yeah. Thanks for helping me out and shit, and noticing. You guys are really great, and thanks. Bye.